Hey, Sag, thanks for dropping in with me. Always good to see you. I hope you're enjoying the new energy that just moved into your sign with Venus and that you're starting to experience that Venusian flow in your life and tinging your experiences with a little bit more kismet, a little bit more beauty, a little bit more, softening vibes. I don't know. It's coming in as that, softening vibes. All right. We are here to do your quest read for the road to the Stone of Destiny. We just had the full moon in Aries that was shining a light on that north node for us. And we are in that lunar cycle now. That was our fourth initiatory gateway, and a new cycle begins. When will it begin? At the close of this lunar cycle, which will come on November 1st when we have the new moon in Scorpio. Okay, whole new cycle begins again, the transformation point. But for now, we're going to have a look at your path. We're going to see what path you've been on and are ready to leave behind. We're going to see what your current perspective is about what you see before you, the lay of the land before you. Then we're going to see what the hidden path is. That is the one Spirit has in store for you that will be revealed to you as you get further into this lunar cycle, although you may already have some hints, I have to say. And then after that, we're going to look at what magics you need to carry you forward on your road to the Stone of Destiny, as well as any wild card elements that may be in play. And finally, we're going to do a quest read and get all the details about what that road to your destiny looks like, what you might find along the way, and get you as much guidance as we can coming through here. We're going to open up with an oracle read to look at your past. This is for any strong Sagittarius placement. If you have a prominent placement in the ninth house, also. If you are a Gemini rising, that makes you a Sag Descendant. Okay, so let's tune into these vibes, see what we got coming in for you. I'm working with the Oracle deck that is a combination of the Sacred Rebels Oracle and the Halloween Oracle to open up for you. And so let's see, what is the path that Sagittarius is leaving behind now, Spirit? What is the path that Sagittarius is leaving behind now, Spirit? What is the path that Sagittarius is leaving behind now, Spirit? Inner trust. Okay, there's something you balanced out here. I feel it took some time. I don't think it was easy. I had a really interesting image that came to mind as I was preparing the decks for you. And what I saw was that 10 of Swords flashed, as I was shuffling, and it made me think of you sort of being considered out of the game or down for the count. I see 10 swords, stabbed in your back. I feel like you went through something pretty gnarly back there. I also think that you're playing possum a bit. You've been biding your time. You've been integrating your experiences. You've been strategizing. I feel it. The energy is really coming in around you not being willing to sort of accept a certain defeat or the way something went down. It's like a redemption moment is how it's coming through. I had an image of you taking every one of those swords out, and with each of those swords that was stuck in your back, there's a truth attached to it. And you're going to activate that truth and you're going to live by that truth. And I did see 6 of Wands came out repeatedly. So I know that there's some kind of personal redemption here on the other side. There's some kind of victory. But I do feel like you've been trying to find the balance between the shadow and the light. You might be trying to take a more higher perspective. Let's call it that. Okay. Based on the wisdom of your experiences. And at the same time, the shadow's still there. 4:44 on the clock. Okay. We got, angel on one side, devil on the other. But what we do have here is inner trust. So above all, you can count on yourself. And I think that the experiences you've been through and the path up to this point has, really caused you to learn to fall back on yourself more, trust your own perception of situations, your own feelings of situations. In some cases, you had some hints about particular characters you were dealing with, and you didn't ignore what was coming through. And at the same time, while the information was there, you had certain insight about these people that, made you kind of have your hackles up. Like, I don't know how I feel about this person, this situation. You did choose, you did choose to turn a blind eye to it. It's like you didn't want to believe what you already knew very well. It had come through loud and clear. And I think after experiencing the rough side of that, what happens when we ignore what we really know on an intrinsic level, you really decided that that wasn't ever going to happen again. Okay. So I do see you in this place of trusting yourself. You take other people's opinions with a grain of salt. It doesn't add up to much to you. You've learned that you do best when you listen to your own counsel. Okay, so this coming through. I do feel like you are in a balanced place right now. You have a balanced perspective of a situation. You know that it's time to move forward, but I feel like the way you're moving forward is very different than how you've moved forward in the past. There's been times in the past where you were really optimistic and you threw caution to the wind and you were just all in. And you raced ahead, and then you suffered, some real setbacks because of that, because of not taking the time to get a real view of the situation at hand, or to trust those inner promptings that were coming forward in you. And then there's other times when you've really held yourself back because of being too much in the shadow and anticipating a negative experience or a repeat of something you've been through before, that you turned down something that could have been quite magical. And I see that right here. It's like you let the magical hour pass you by. You may be at the 11th hour right now. You feel like time is just about up to create some kind of transformation in your life. We see here you're a little haunted by the ghost of regret. So if you could turn back time, there's something you do a lot differently than you did back there. And you're wondering if you can pull this off. Well, I mean, I do have that, message coming through for you. You're not really down for the count. And I think even if you kind of like accepted that fate on one level, inside, deep within, you knew it was a bunch of BS. Like, you're not down for the count. You always rise back up to the challenge. I mean, if any sign is the comeback kid, it is Sagittarius. Sagittarius can be optimistic in the most grim circumstances, right? They will find a way through, and they don't hold on to stuff too long. I mean, a grudge they can hold on to, if you rile a Sag, they're gonna hold a grudge until they get an opportunity to make their point. And I do feel like some of those points that were directed at you and went right in your back, you're ready to turn them around on the other person. And maybe you want some answers. And I don't think it's just one person or just one situation. It feels like it's quite a few. But somewhere in the mix of all of this, okay, all the lies and the espionage and the ruses, there is something that was quite magical that you let pass you by. And you feel a lot of regret about this. And this is the part of you that is going to awaken the fighter in you. And when I say the fighter, I don't mean somebody that wants to like brawl it out. I mean somebody who finds purpose to like get up and get back in the game again. So you're about to head to this most magical hour of all. It's like the final round kind of energy. You've been looking at this about the ways that you have kind of held yourself back from the fullness of the experience that was earmarked for you. because you allowed yourself to be swayed by outside circumstances, maybe your own fears, maybe your own fears of what would be required to experience this kind of transformation in your life. The time's coming around again, though, okay? There is some blocking stuff coming up around the throat. So there's some truth associated with this too. It's an uncomfortable truth. Maybe a truth that you're admitting to yourself that you have some regrets, all right? Cut the deck here. Let's see what we got. I see that you're about to get things cooking though. So it looks like you are making your way through the cauldron of Dagda. You're ready to heal something here. And you're ready to come into alignment with your true path. You're ready to do what you need to do to actually, you know, make that transfer, get out of get out of Bummerville, man, and get back to that place where the magic's stirring in your life again. I do see some kind of alignment coming in here. You got the spirit blue. You're ready to shoot your shot. And I feel like you have experience backing you up here. And there's also something that is just within your blood, man. It's in your DNA. You come from a line of fighting spirits, man. And I do feel like you're not willing to just sort of accept this fate that has been cast upon you. You didn't need to take it on. You know, I think you took on the projections of others and you accepted something. 11:44 on the clock. But again, you know, to me, it feels like a little bit of biding your time or creating some space to perhaps lick some wounds or integrate some stuff, certainly. But I don't think you ever really gave up on something. You just kind of like regret the way that it went down. You wish it would have gone down differently. And this might have had something to do with other people that were involved in the situation that sort of soured things for you. But I feel like whatever this is, you got some good backing here. I feel like there's something that is activating here that is just part of your life story, and you can't omit this chapter. This was written before you even came into this earth, you know, into this corporeal form to have this mundane experience. This is a time when the spiritual is really being activated in the material, and there are no ordinary moments. And there's some knowing, there's something knowing waking up in you. And I feel like it's coming through that activation of just what's hardwired in us. It's like, I'm supposed to be making this juncture here. This is the moment that my destiny is supposed to pop off. And, you know, I'm back here being haunted by the ghost of regret because I allowed other people to hitch a ride onto my road to destiny, and it held me back and it got me stuck for a while. And I needed time. I needed time to recuperate, to strategize, to figure out how I was going to move forward from here. And I feel like you're about to activate that. Okay. But I like this. I like to see that you've gone through that cauldron of Dagda. So let's check it out now and see what is Sagittarius's current perspective of their path. What is Sagittarius's current perspective of their path? How are they seeing the lay of the land before them right now? How are things looking for Sagittarius moving ahead from the current vantage point, Spirit? Let's take a look at this here. Yeah, see? You've needed some time to kind of recover from what went down back there. I do feel like there was some kind of fight, or you felt like you were in some kind of embroiled conflict, and it was a lot. And many people don't realize how much it was for you. They don't, because they don't understand the complexity of your situation or really what you were dealing with, because there's so much of what was coming up in you, what you were dealing with, that, you know, you weren't going to share that with anybody. You know, some things are sacred. You don't just offer those pearls to just anybody. Certainly not people who don't know how to hold the proper space around it or to be respectful with it. And I feel like you were dealing with disrespectful circumstances, disrespectful people. And yeah, you've needed to rest, you've needed to restore, you've needed to replenish. I do feel like you're coming close to the time where that integration is just about complete, you know? You're just about there with that 38 energy, that's 11 energy. I feel like doing just like 3 more shuffles here for some reason. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to that. All right, so what's on the other side of this closing out of this rest and replenishment? It looks to me like you're readying yourself for something. Oh yeah, look at this again. Sweetness and synergy. So we know you got something coming into alignment here. Synergy, that's your magic word. That's your theme. You're about to come into a place of synergy. So where things have felt out of alignment or the timing's been off, or you haven't been able to bring something together, or it's been inharmonious, look for that to start to radically shift here. And this is harvest energy coming in, okay? So I feel like you're regretting something that was supposed to be, you know, like your magic pumpkin. You know what I'm saying? It's like that chariot that carries you forward to something that you have been, you know, calling in for a while. And I say you've been calling it in because it's sort of like a soul's directive thing. I think it's something that's been stirring within you. Like you knew that something was supposed to come into alignment for you, and yet you just missed it. There was a twist of fate. The twist of fate was necessary. You know, we often bemoan those things, but often they're required to get a certain kind of perspective that if we didn't have it, we could totally like foil the most magical moment of all, right? So everything has a purpose and everything has a reason and everything has a season as well. And it looks like your season of harvest is about to come in here. You may be feeling this, okay? This might be picking up for you. Give me more details about the current perspective Sagittarius has about the lay of the land before them, the path before them, as they see it currently. Because we know there's going to be some magic weaving through your life. Spirit's got some plans for you. The destiny is always like that, the way it comes in. It never quite appears the way we think it's going to, and that's part of the wonder of it all. Ooh, okay, this just flipped up in the middle of the deck. All right, we have invisibility, authenticity. So I kind of like this energy, I have to say, Sag. I don't think you are really focusing on the path ahead, so to speak. This feels like a very present kind of energy. I think you're just sitting in that place, the pause right now. You feel the buildup of energy. You know the time to act will be coming soon. You've arrived at some essential truth. You know that you're going to step forward in your truth in this way. I do feel like you've been kind of like in the shadows. You've been kind of pulling your energy back. You haven't been as front and center as you normally are, and that is about to shift. And I think you're preparing yourself for this moment. In some cases, there might be like some great unmasking moment. I don't know why I got that, but I got that image of, you know, like at the end of every good caper with Scooby-Doo, you know, they pull off the mask from the villain and their true nature is revealed. So there might be some unmasking that's about to go down, right? Or somebody is really revealing themselves for the first time, revealing their choice, revealing their position on something, revealing who they really are. I feel like your energy has been very cloaked, but you're about to let it be seen. And I feel like you're in this moment. It's almost reminding me of performers will get this, okay? Where you're backstage, right? and the curtain hasn't come up yet. It's not time for your number or your show or whatever you're doing at that venue. You know, it's not time for action yet, right? And you're back there and you're ready and you feel the anticipation of it, and it's a pause, right? It's just a moment to kind of gather your energy and gather yourself, but you feel a flood of a lot of different emotions at that time. And for some of you, it could be debuting something creatively. You're about to really go public with it. It's something that maybe is a little bit risky for you. Maybe it does reveal a part of yourself that nobody's ever seen before. Okay, so I could see it certainly. I don't think analogies come in like that, you know, for no reason at all. There's usually something that's stinging there. You might feel like that in your situation. You might feel like there's a lot of eyes on you and that you know that people are going to sort of be focused on you. You're going to have people's attention. And because of that, you're really preparing yourself to be in that place of having a spotlight on you, right? And in some cases where you have been just sort of put one foot in front of the other and you've been working really hard, you can feel that your moment is coming where that hard work is about to pay off. And it's going to get you some kind of attention here, recognition, but there's a preparation for it. There's something about, I need to be ready for this. I need to be ready for this attention to be on me, because once that light shines on me, you know, it's go time. And I have to really stand up and represent who I am and move forward authentically here. And I have to make my intentions very clear. And all is going to be seen. People are really going to see me for who I am. And for some reason, there's a need to have preparation around that. Maybe because some people might, you know, take it a certain way. 22:11 on the clock. I feel like it's something you're coming into alignment with. You're not sure how people are going to react to it. This could be coming into alignment with your true self and just ready to show up and represent that in the world, you know, not pleasing other people anymore, not holding yourself back in that way and being like, look, this is me. You know, you take it or leave it. This is who I am. You know, I'm not changing for anybody. Okay. This could be, you know, who you're choosing to love, right? It's not coming in for everybody, but in some cases, this could be coming out of a closet in some way, right? This could be coming out of the closet in terms of, you know, who you are, who you love. And that could be beyond, you know, just, you know, having a desire for the same sex, okay? That could be coming out of the closet on many different levels, right? It could be that somebody is sort of taboo, you know, you shouldn't be with this person, okay? Or you come from very different backgrounds, you have very different spiritual beliefs, different cultures, okay? There's something here about standing up and really representing your path forward and knowing that it's going to draw a lot of attention. And if you're doing something creative, there's something very revealing about what you're doing, where you're letting people see a side of yourself that you normally don't show others. And so it's very exposing. I got that. Exposure is the word that's coming through. I feel like your communication is going to involve a lot of exposure too. And you may be exposing somebody as well. You may be unmasking somebody, all right? You could be calling somebody else out. It's possible. Okay, let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got here. I mean, it says the word wants to be written. There is transformation that's happening here. And we do see you've been through a process where you've been integrating a lot of heavy stuff. But you do have a vision. And some of you have specific, you know, messages that you need to express, you need to share. It's part of your purpose. I also see this as, if this involves somebody and you feel like you missed a moment, You may be wanting to recover that moment. You may feel like you need to send somebody a message. You're trying to find the right words to activate this transformation. There could be something you're writing, a book, lyrics, something you're writing that is based on an experience you've been through. And so it's deeply personal for you. It's cathartic, right? But it's also part of your purpose. It's something you're meant to do. Some of you have a screenplay in you. There's something about a message that comes through your words. You could be a singer, okay? Maybe you've never shared that part of yourself. Maybe you've always been, somebody who supported the lead man, okay? You're ready to take the lead. I could see that, Yeah, I always played rhythm guitar and now I'm stepping up to the mic. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. It's ready to take your spot, not willing to sort of be the one that's kind of like held back or, supporting others. You're ready to take your spot. That's what I got. And you got some kind of message to share. I feel like what you've been holding back here that you're supposed to set in motion, whether it's reaching out and communicating to somebody, expressing something that you need to get off your chest, even if it's like letting somebody have it. Maybe you do need to unmask somebody. You need to disarm them. You need to call them out. You need to take a stand for yourself. Or whether this is something that you're actually creating, whether you're, writing an album or whether you are writing a book or you are going and doing some kind of public speaking, you got some kind of message to share here. And the longer that you hold these words back, the longer that you stay in the chrysalis state and you don't actually get your wings so you can fly and experience the transformation and the freedom that comes from that. You could have a strong air sign placement in your chart, butterfly medicine coming in there, butterfly clan. That's the air signs on the medicine wheel. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, very interesting. We got a mirroring energy here, DC. We got the moth. Okay, moth medicine is very similar to butterfly medicine. The only thing that's different is that moth medicine is about transforming the shadow. And we opened up like that with you, where you were really balancing out the shadow and light. So I do feel like you are passing through some fire test of truth. You're willing to go through the fire. You're willing to go through the fire like Shaka Khan, man. That's a great song. Okay. But yeah, there's something here that you're willing to like face the truth in order to get to the other side, the potential of what's on the other side of that. But it does mean that something has to be released here. Something has to be transformed. And like I said, you're preparing yourself for this. You're preparing yourself to go through the fire. That's what I got. Okay. But the eternal cycle begins here. So that's how you're seeing things right now. I think that's why you've been taking the time, because you understand the importance of the moment. You understand what you're about to step into, right? So it's like you're readying yourself. Okay, what is the hidden path that is about to emerge for Sagittarius spirit during this lunar cycle? What path are you going to illuminate for Sagittarius that opens the road to the stone of destiny, spirit? What is the hidden path that is going to become illuminated for Sagittarius during this lunar cycle, spirit? I mean, look at this. Again, defend to the end the worthwhile. So there's a change that you are activating here. I told you, I saw that 10 swords in your back and you pulling out each one and you're going to use them to get a victory here. Like you are still in it. A lot of you come from warrior bloodlines, man, and it's just something that's awakening in your DNA right now. Some of you have been doing a lot of that deep root work, man. You've been looking at your ancestral bloodlines. You've been learning about where you come from. You've been gaining a lot of strength from that. There's something here that it's like it's just not in your stock, man, to take something laying down. You're a Sagittarius. You always got to be in it to win it, man. It's what you're here to do. You're the one who is unreasonably optimistic when all the chips are down. So you're like comeback hit energy. And there's something here that you feel like, nope, this is worth defending. And I'm not going to just let this go. You know, I'm going to head forward here and I'm going after this. It doesn't matter. Do you see? There's been a lot of pain here. I see it. It's in both of these images. There's a lot of pain here. But what does the pain mean? Why did you go through all that if you're not going to see it through to the end and get to the transformation point? That's what I see for you. So you're still in this, and this is a road you're meant to travel. And that's the thing. When you're going to activate your destiny, it's not a simple thing. It's not a simple thing to transform fate. It's not. It's a rough hand. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to play it? It takes daring. It takes wit. It takes bravery. It takes strategy. You got to use your brains. You got to have some wisdom you're working with there from that pain you've been through. But if you just let it end at that, like, here I am down on the ground, 10 swords in my back, what kind of story is that? No, you got to have a better ending to your story than that. Okay, so this is you activating your protagonist, okay? I think you've been antagonized on your road as you've been heading forward, trying to spin your fortunes here, but it looks like you're getting back into a fight. You recouped, okay? You got a new strategy that you're going to be putting in place moving forward with this campaign. And with that, ooh, look at that. Here it is. Okay, so the transformation is happening. What's happening? The transformation of the shadow. You're moving out of the shadow. You're ready to move into the light. See, what is giving you the courage to actually go through the fire is that you are drawn forward by that light. You want to get to the most magical hour of all. You're wanting to reclaim that. There is an ending here. It's big rebirth energy, okay? So there's something that is going to be activated here. What do you need to let go of? You need to relinquish control here, or a controlling element that has been holding you back and holding you in place. This is something that should have come to an end a long time ago. And in fact, this controlling element, it could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be a vice, it could be something within you, okay? So look at the full picture here so you can get a clear view of what's going on, right? This is something that could have been illuminated for you with this full moon that we just had in Aries. And it is something that is still kind of eclipsing the light, moving ahead, right? So this could go back a ways as well. This could go back a ways as well. Be mindful of this energy. It's something old. It's something that is still clinging. It's something that's having too much control in this situation, and it's time to put the control back in your hands, okay? Somebody else has been steering your course here, and you need to put that to an end to move forward here and experience this transformation. So that's what's being revealed. So I would say prepare for like a rebirth moment, because that looks like that's what's coming in for you with that November 1st new moon. Diving for light. You see, you dove really deep into your subconscious. You had to in order to integrate all that shadow stuff there. But now it's about a different kind of flow. You got to get your coordinates set. So now you're diving for the light. You know, reminds me of fairy. What's upside down is right side up. I think your focus has been so much on the depths for so long that there's a need to turn yourself around and look toward the surface where the light's breaking through. So you can breach what's been holding you back. You know what I mean? You have to surface. You have to come up for air here. You've been held down for a long time. You dove deep down there, and maybe the Kraken got a hold of you and has been keeping you firmly in place here. There is some energy here that's been keeping you held down in the shadows, and there's a need for you to turn around so you can actually surface again, because you're meant to like breach whatever's been in place, whatever has been keeping you, stuck here. You're meant to breach that. You're meant to go against the grain. You're meant to burst into the light. It's time to step forward. And this is something that's waking up in you. It's a moment that's been coded in your DNA. This is time, okay? It's going to become more pressing. You're going to feel it. This is also about recognizing the way that we can control our outcomes by wallowing too long in processing something that is nothing more than a mirage at this point, because it's already slipped into the corridors of the past. So this transformation is overdue, whatever is needing to be released here, whether it's a person you're dealing with or a situation that is just like time's up, or whether this is some kind of addiction or some kind of false belief you have, some kind of BS that's keeping you in a position where you're just always endlessly processing and feeling down about something that you don't have control over, because the past is gone. It's done. You got right now. What are you going to do right now? And I think you've already come to this conclusion, okay? But it's really being reiterated here that in order for you to experience this alignment, it's time to stop reflecting on what's past. It's time to stop focusing on the pain. And it's time to get back up. I mean, that's really clear. So there's a major transformation happening here. It's to move you out of the shadows and into the light. And the path that brings that light into your life will be revealed to you. So let's find out some more details here, Sag. It's interesting. It's like there needs to be a little bit mystery for you moving forward here. Spirit's not wanting to totally reveal their hand with you. I like it. I like it. Okay, we're going to look at what magics you need to carry forward with you here. Oh, yeah, you're dealing with a tricky situation here. And in some ways, you've been tricking yourself, That's what happens. We spend time in the shadow for too long, and we can kind of start chasing our own tail. It can become sort of a circuitous route, I see. This is also gaining a little bit of that trickster medicine. I think you did have to take a little bit of the spicy side of the shadow to understand how you could unravel a particular knot that's been put in place. And I say a knot, and I'm not just speaking of something that binds one, something that holds one in place. Ooh, binding. There could be a binding that's been put in place in this situation that's affecting matters. Okay, we got Earth family here, Earth Sun. Could be a binding influence in this situation, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Somebody could have done some kind of control work. I mean, we did have the control card come out. If that's the case, it's an old matter. There might be something that needs to be unraveled there, all right? I'm going to bring it in because it's coming in, okay? So if you did some kind of binding work, let's say you did some binding work, and maybe you did it a long time ago, you may need to lift that. How do you lift a binding? You lift a binding by taking something, it has to be something physical, something material that is very special to you, very dear to you, and you have to give it up to the earth. You bury it in the earth in order to free yourself from the crossroads. See, so many people are so apt to do control workings because they feel like it gives them some sense of power. And sometimes they even feel justified in doing that. You'll hear people talk about things like righteous hexes. But what most people miss is the way that you end up tripping yourself with that kind of a working. Because the reality is, what you bind is bound to you. And it's soon, at some point, the control needs to be relinquished. Either way, okay? So it's a way that you can actually hold yourself back. So if you did any kind of binding work, even if it was when you were a novice, if you were young and stupid and, you did something along these lines, then now would be the time to lift it. Because if you feel like you keep ending up in the same position, or you keep feeling like you keep reaching like a skip in the record, or you keep feeling like you go back to this place, in your consciousness over and over and over again. I mean, that knot can be like a neural loop, right? You might need to settle a particular score. That's a way you can do it. You give something up. It can be a piece of jewelry. It'd have to be something that's precious to you. It can be something physical, cutting your hair and offering it to the earth. Okay? So consider this. You may be dealing with a character who's doing a little something like that. I mean, I am noticing the medicine bundle there. But with that coyote medicine coming in, and with the full moon in the backdrop there might have even been somebody who tried something recently. Okay. So it got earth sign energy around it. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I do feel like this has been something that's been holding you in the crossroads. And you might need a little medicine to remedy this. It's really sticking on this, okay? So there might be more of a spiritual solution to your holdups, okay? You might be looking at what you view as a practical problem in the wrong way. The reason why you feel stuck is because you keep trying to find a solution that's, practical. And your solution is actually spiritual. So there's a spiritual resolution to your situation. Some of you might want to go and actually work with somebody who is like a medicine man, medicine woman. You might be having a character like this come on your path who will teach you something. Maybe this is something that's in your bloodline. So you could be having a teacher come on your path. You might be learning more about your spiritual roots here. There might be something about needing some kind of like soul retrieval work, or uncrossing work, lifting something. It's got like, I keep seeing a knot in my mind's eye. Okay, so there's something about something that's spiritually, energetically being held in place with all the ancestral stuff that came through. It could be something that's like kind of like a pox on the bloodline here. But there is a spiritual solution here, right? And that might be a bit about your path moving forward. That might be why it's a mystery, because that's part of the initiation, is to untangle that knot. All right, that's how it's coming through. Coyote medicine here. Definite earth energy coming in here really strongly. We have earth family, sister earth here. Okay, so this is somebody that you've dealt with before. All right, got earth sign energy coming in very strongly here. You could have a strong earth sign placement in your chart. This could be somebody that you feel close to. You view them as sister. You view them as brother. This can be by blood, or this can certainly be by choice, just spiritual recognition here. I am still getting this image of doing some work with somebody to experience a freedom, a release. You see, she's holding a dove. Well, she's opened her hand. And now that dove is flying. Somebody's been holding on to somebody's freedom. They have. It's coming through the imagery really strongly here. Somebody's been holding the bird in the hand and they need to release it so it can fly free and there can be peace in a situation. Earth sign energy around this, okay? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Until that happens, there's going to be sort of like stagnancy coloring your experiences. If you haven't done anything like this, okay, I do suggest that you look for a spiritual solution to your problem, okay? Do some research about uncrossing. You might want to do some spiritual cleansing. I recommend you work with somebody, though. I feel like you should work with somebody who has like a shamanistic background. And there might be somebody coming onto your path, like a medicine man, medicine woman here that can help with this. And with that, here comes the magic. Okay, we got Raven medicine there. Brother Sky, Sky family. That's Libra energy. So yes, there is a magical component of what's going down here, I have to say. Raven is associated with magic. Raven also has certain associations with heading toward that light, wanting to claim the light to nourish the people. And in the process, in order to move forward in a certain way and to achieve that justice, you might need to move in the shadow a little bit. So this is also remembering that you have to take the best parts of the shadow forward with you in order to navigate the terrain ahead, because you are being initiated by a trickster of sorts here. I mean, I feel that energy. And there is some happiness in store here. It wants to spiral in for you. But, you know, the story of Raven in Native American tradition is that Raven flew up to the sky, was originally white, and flew up to the sky to reclaim the fire, okay, the sun, to nourish the people. And in taking that sun, the feathers were singed and they got singed with the soot, and that's how they became black. So there's some times that you have to be a little bit tricksy in order to hit the mark and do what is just in a situation, because true justice is blind. It's not all light and it's not all shadow. It is sort of somewhere in between. It's one of those things where, you know, there's your truth, there's my truth, and then there's the big T truth, which is that sort of murky area where it's a little bit of all of it simultaneously. Okay, so something is operating here. This is also about a lot of messages coming in for you on the air. Pay attention to the winds. Pay attention to the directions that the winds are coming in. You might also find particular strength coming from the west wind, right? So tune into that, okay? West winds can give you a lot of strength. There's messages coming through here, sylph energy, all right? And there is some transformation happening here, but I do feel there's a bit of magic at play. And there is a healing that's happening here with 3 of fire. And your opportunity is on the other side of going through the fire. Do you see how the energy is almost crossed, leading up to that door of initiation there? So you are going to go through a fire test of truth. You're going through the fire. You're about to experience that transformation of the shadow and coming into the light. It is time for healing in this situation, and you are getting a special gift from the fire. Because of your bravery to face a certain truth and to be seen in your truth and step forward in it. So you're claiming the power of the fire. And I just heard fireball. So I don't know, you might be firing off some fireballs at a few, because I do got this image of you're kind of going to battle too. There are some enemies to truth that you may be facing off here with Sag, and you need to be prepared for that. And I think you're unmasking at least somebody here in this situation. We're looking at the sort of like wild card elements here. We're working with the Arcane BS deck for this. That deck I just used was the Infinite Tarot. I know sometimes people like to know what decks I'm working with here. We got meaningless garbage here, okay? So I do feel like you're unmasking somebody here that presented themselves as somewhat of an ally to you. And maybe this person was filling your head with a lot of stuff that you realized in the end was nothing but meaningless garbage. They were kind of acting like they were there to support you, that they were on your side, and really they were kind of a scavenger in this situation, okay? There's something here that you realized was very far from the truth. Maybe you were turning to somebody for counsel, or somebody was offering their support to you in some way, or somebody was giving you some advice about how to move forward. I think you thought this person was a helpful influence. You realized that person was filling your head with a bunch of nonsense, or maybe you realized this person is shit for brains. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Okay. But I do feel like you're preparing to take out the trash. This could be the character that you're unmasking here, I have to say, Sag. All right, let's see. What is the wild card elements on the road ahead to the Stone of Destiny that Sagittarius needs to be aware of, Spirit? Bottom of the deck, a skeleton eating a banana. Yeah, I mean, there's something here that at one point it may have seemed a bit like forbidden fruit to you. It may have seemed like it was enticing, alluring. This certainly could be this meaningless garbage. You were drawn to it, but I think you realized it didn't really fulfill you in the way you thought it would. It left you hungry for more. It left you hungry for something more. Okay, what is the wild card element coming in here? I also feel like you're bringing a particular sexual connection to an end. You've had enough of that. You don't want to connect with this person anymore. Maybe you felt like every time you connected with somebody on a sexual level, you found that you were like really feeling like drained energetically. You could have been dealing with kind of like a succubus, incubus kind of energy, I have to say. Yeah, it could be, you know, that's the way some people tap in, okay? Either way here, I feel like you're a little low on fuel here, and you're recognizing that you got to cut off a particular tie. I think it's a wild card element because at one point you really turned to this person for some support and assistance. Whoever this is, you are definitely taking all those swords back that this person stabbed in your back, and you are using them to defend your north node here. All right. I told you, I saw this. I saw this from the start. Big Aries north node energy here, like you're staking your claim. You took all those swords that were put in your back, and you're using them to, you know, hold down the fort at your north node. You're like, no, I'm activating my destiny here, man. And you will not pass. I see you taking a strong stand here. Now, it's really interesting because I brought in that piece about burying something, all right? If there's any kind of binding work in play, look what we got here. We got the digging ghost, all right? So there might be a matter here that needs to be settled. There might need to be a settling of scores at the crossroads to find the way through and open the road. It's coming in here. This is an old matter, okay? This is an old matter. Also, for those of you, you know, that doesn't resonate with, you don't know anybody moves like that, it doesn't feel like that's for you, this is also a need to finally bury the past. And the only way you can really do that is to face it squarely. In some cases, there's a need to face something honestly that maybe you kept buried for too long because it was uncomfortable to face. And yet you're living with this ghost of regret. And there's only one way to finish it once and for all, and that's to face it dead on, right? Because as long as you continue to dig into this, right, you're actually just kind of like digging your own grave because you're putting yourself in a rut. And this doesn't allow you to really experience life. It's like you're living within the playback of an old story. You know, you're living with memories. And there's something here that's become extremely stagnant with the Frotus. And it's starting to affect everything here. Your energy has been affected, your vitality. In some cases, your health has suffered as a result. There also just feels like everything's been a bit tainted, you know? There's a need to make something clean again. It's like a need to get all the old stagnant energy out. You might need to do a good clearing of energy in your environment, and that certainly could come through doing spiritual cleansing. I do feel like there's a spiritual solution to your problem. It's not a mundane solution here. I feel that really strongly. I also feel like you let something in and it's almost like acted like a virus. It's kind of like taken over everything. And you need to just completely reboot here, right? So there needs to be a good clearing out of energy. But there's every indication here that you do need to like stand up, hold your ground, and let certain energies not pass, because where they may have been coming off like they were helpful or they were assisting you or they were there to support you, you've discovered these energies have kind of like taken over your whole life. And this is what's holding you back, right? You need to be prepared for this. Let me do a cut of the deck and see what we got here, Sag. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, it's like incubus, succubus energy. You're facing off with big, sexy Satan here. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, damned if I do, damned if I don't. I do feel like this is a difficult side of you to, you know, release here. But you also recognize whatever this is, it's something that's holding the both of you in childhood trauma. This is like a trauma bonding connection here. It's something you've been going through for a long time. It's interesting to me because these babies, they look like twins. So I don't know why, but I got like Gemini vibes here. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could be dealing with a Capricorn in this situation, okay? But there is something that you need to recognize here is just like a destructive cycle. And yet you get drawn back into it again and again and again because you're trying to work something out through the connection, but the only way to work that out is to actually acknowledge what's really going on here. There's something going on here, and it goes a lot deeper than just our relationship. And this has roots in the past. There's been a lot coming through about family here. There's been a lot coming through about ancestry. So I feel for a lot of you, this is like some old trauma stuff. And that's where the key is for you, really. And this may be something that goes back to when you were really young here. This might be why you need to seek like a medicine man, a medicine woman, why you need to get some kind of different kind of healing here, shamanistic healing, something along these lines. I say that because this might be a matter of like needing to call back, you know, some of your power, needing to call back your soul parts, all right? This is coming in really strongly for you. There's something you need to call back here. and it's buried in the recesses of the past. And there's somebody here that's reflecting this to you. It's like it's a burden you both share. You're both tied to it, okay? You're tied to it. It's like a binding. It's some kind of binding in place. Maybe it's even a bit of a spiritual binding here. It's like you don't get free until both of you get free. And so you kind of have to work it out together. You have to put both of your heads together in order to find the way through to this situation. Okay, this is quite interesting, Sag. So I felt really pulled to bring out my fairy deck for your quest read here. And I haven't used this in a long, long time. So I know that things are about to get interesting for you, Sagittarius. I also feel like this is something you're going to be dealing with that you haven't dealt with it for a long, long time. And it plays an important role on your path ahead here. Let's check it out. What's on the bottom of the deck? Yes, we have King of Swords here, right? So you're about to take some very decisive action here. You are about to make a wise judgment in a situation, and you're going to definitively draw a line under the past or cut through that knot so you can move forward here. Again, air sign energy coming in, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I also see this as you cutting off what's tying you and holding you down in the South Node, so you're actually free to rise up into your destiny. So let's check this out, Sag, and see what is the quest that is coming in for Sagittarius. Give a theme, an overarching theme of the road ahead to the Stone of Destiny for Sagittarius Spirit. What is Sagittarius's quest as they head on up that road to the Stone of Destiny and activate that transformation in their life? What is the quest up ahead for Sagittarius Spirit? Look at this. Power in your hands, Spear of Lu. You're about to take this action. I love that the owl shows up. That is your medicine. That's your birth totem on the medicine wheel there. So you are making a wise choice here. There's a truth that is undeniable. There's something you've learned in your time in the shadow. You have the wisdom to lead you forward, and a power is being put in your hands. And I do see you taking action here. You are activating the transformation. And again, you know, look at this. The activation is coming from the sky, okay? So there's something about this coming in very clearly here for you about air energy here. So there's something, I feel like it's coming in through communication. It's that message, it's the words you need to speak. So I think this is the action that's about to be taken here. And it sort of sets off your whole journey, right? There's something powerful about your words. There's something powerful about your message. There's something powerful that you're sharing here. And this is something that activates the opening of your road, okay? Let's see what this is. What is the quest that Sagittarius has before them, Spirit? I mean, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse here. I think a lot of you are on a quest to unravel a working or some kind of manipulation, okay? It's coming through strongly as somebody did some kind of spiritual work in this situation, whether somebody did it to you or you did it to somebody else. There's a spiritual solution to what ails you here. Ace of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. You have to figure out how to unravel something here. That's your quest. What's on the bottom of the deck here? Once you do, you gain the power that sets you free. This is my if wishes were horses, the dreamers would ride card. This is the activation of your destiny. We got air and fire merged here. You had air come through, also the gift of fire coming through as well. So again, this is like air fueling the fire. There's some kind of inspiration that comes here. It lights you up. It breathes life into it. There's an action taken here, a powerful action that moves things forward quickly. And it's the activation of your destiny. And it very well could involve the written word, something you're writing here. This can be a screenplay. This can be a book. This can be an album, okay? But this is the activation of a dream. But there's something that has been keeping this from moving forward. And it has something to do with a spiritual matter that needs to be resolved here. And this is some kind of manipulation, right? So if you're like, I just cannot like connect with the spell work piece, okay? This is somebody has manipulated you and manipulated your situation in such a way where it has created a binding effect. And you have to uncross yourself. You have to figure out how to untie this knot. This came in for Pisces a while ago. So I feel like this is kind of a hidden matter because we look at that 12th house energy associated with Pisces. And this could be something, someone that has been at odds with you, but you weren't aware of that, right? Because I do feel like whoever this individual was, you consider them an ally. You felt like they were supporting you. This person was assisting you. But there's something that's been grounded from taking flight because of some kind of manipulative working that was done here. Whether this was somebody spinning a fantasy for you, misguiding you, and you taking it in even when it wasn't feeling quite right, you chose to trust them instead, right? Not trust your own intuitive knowing here. Or whether this is a situation where, you know, you just got completely worked by someone because of something they were promising, and maybe it was very enticing for you. You wanted your hands on that. This could have even been some kind of material reward, some kind of riches or preciouses you were hoping for. And you realize this person led you on a wild goose chase. They weren't the golden goose, okay? This could also be somebody did the working. And that working was to have control in this situation. It's an old matter. This is something that has its roots in the past here, okay? Any further detail about this? Any further details about this spirit, this working? I'm being told to pull out my shadow light cards on this, get clarification. Yeah, look at this, bottom of the deck, 8 of clubs. In the shadow here, this is trying to slow down movement, trying to slow down communication, trying to slow down progress. This is putting something at a halt. Right behind that, we got your energy, Sag. We got the Queen of Clubs coming up in the shadow. Okay, that could be your energy. It could be something you did a long time ago. This could also be another fire sign. Okay, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could also be a mistress energy. This could be a side piece energy. This could be somebody jealous and covetous who did a working, yes, to keep somebody trapped, to confuse somebody, to keep them in their head and to jail them, so to speak. This is somebody who wanted control in this situation, right? Strong fire sign energy or mistress energy around this. Why? Because they wanted this destiny for themselves with the 10 of hearts. Okay, let me get one round here just to clarify this, because this is kind of important. This is what's setting off your whole quest. I want to give you clues here. Somebody tried to cause you to question what you felt was your destiny. They seeded doubt so that you would walk away from this with the 8 of hearts here coming to light, okay? Yes, it was a betrayal. This betrayal will come to light for you. In some cases, it's the way that you betrayed yourself because you listened to this individual and you knew what you knew. And instead of trusting what you knew was true for you, you trusted this person's counsel. We got water sign energy here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, okay? And right behind that, we have the workings card, okay? Again, I feel like this is somebody that you felt was working for you. This could have even been somebody you hired to do some spiritual work for you to help you in your situation. And this is what caused sabotage with the Three of Spades in the shadow. Oh, tricky, tricky trickster. This is what's being illuminated for you. I have to tell you, this is what's being illuminated for you. The way that your destiny got swiped out of your hands by a trickster, all right? This is the matter you need to resolve. We got a Queen of Spades coming up in the light, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And right after that, we got an Ace of Hearts here, okay? So this is positive energy. There's some new beginning you are meant to activate here. It is your destiny. But you need to transform the energy at the South Node. You can't stay in the old karmic cycle. It does require you cut something off. 1-1-1-01 on the clock. And this is what you're up against here, okay? So you got to fool this trickster. Sometimes you got to play the fool to fool the fools who think they're fooling you, okay? You got to activate a little bit of your trickster here in order to overcome this challenge. You do need to figure out how to unravel this knot that's been holding things in place. Again, you know, if this is something that you suspect was done to you by another, I suggest that you go and get yourself some assistance with that. But if you've already approached somebody to do this kind of work for you in the past, don't go to them. You need to go to somebody else. You need to go to somebody else to do this work for you, because whoever did this work for you before, you know, they were working against you. That's what I got, okay? Interesting, Sag. Okay, so what's the nemesis on Sagittarius's path heading up to that stone of destiny? What is the nemesis on Sagittarius's path heading up to that stone of destiny? What is the nemesis on Sagittarius's path heading up to that stone of destiny? What is the nemesis on Sagittarius's path? Bottom of the deck. Ooh, Judgment in reverse. Like, this wasn't good judgment. Something was done back there. It wasn't the brightest idea, man. There's something here that has kept you in a karmic cycle, right? This is judgment not in your favor, right? So there is something here that you need to look at. It's the way that you sabotage yourself. I feel it has something to do with you trusting the wrong people or getting the wrong people involved in your situation, okay? Not trusting yourself. But let's get some more details here. So your judgment was off in some way, and as a result, you know, it sabotaged you. Something worked against you here. Let's see what this nemesis is, Sag. I mean, it's something that caused you heartache. You betrayed your heart in a situation. You betrayed your heart. You weren't true to your heart because of the guidance of another. And so the road closed to you here. It could have been a matter of ego, a matter of pride that caused this to be blocked, okay? But in some way here, you got separated. You got separated from your road to destiny. It looks like it was some poor judgment on your part. What is this judgment? What was this poor judgment that Sagittarius made here? Oh, you didn't move forward in a direction that you knew you should have moved forward in. You withheld communication too. It was the Eight of Wands. It was coming out as a crossing influence, but like reversed crossing influence. Yep. Instead, you know, you kind of went into hermit mode here. You could have been getting guidance from a Virgo in this situation, or this could be related to a Virgo. Either way, I feel like you've been just kind of keeping to yourself here, but you were actually supposed to move forward and come into alignment with your path. That looks like, you know, was supposed to connect you with another important person that plays a role in whatever destiny you're activating here. But in the process, you got separated from this path. Interesting. Let me do a cut of the deck here. Yeah, it has something to do with, you know, your dream fulfillment here. And with that, we got the Page of Cups, okay? Water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We see this snake that is wrapping around that page there, okay? So there could be a message coming in, a message that was delayed in relation to this individual, or this individual caused a delay in you actually reaching out and communicating with someone. This could have been somebody who was advising you in a matter, and maybe that's why this beginning never kind of took root here, right? Interesting. You could be dealing with a water sign energy, somebody that comes off as helpful or friendly, but they're actually a little tricksy, okay? You might even be hearing from this person soon. I have to say, they might be reaching out to you. Okay, what is the spirit ally on Sagittarius's path? What is the spirit ally on Sagittarius's path? You might receive an invitation from this character soon. They might be reaching out to you, wanting to connect. You might want to take a moment to tune in and pay attention to what's coming up within you intuitively when this person reaches out, because I don't think that your internal feelings will steer you wrong in this case, Sagittarius, okay? Your spirit ally. Ah, judgment upright, okay? Well, that makes things pretty clear. Yeah, okay? Be suspicious about this person reaching out. Motive plays an important role here. What is Sagittarius's spirit ally here? Okay, do you see how the judgment turns in your favor? You got to pay attention to this. You have to suspect someone's approach here. It's not to be trusted, okay? You got the Page of Pentacles here. So this is about learning something. You know, this is about you learning something and using what you already learned to carry you forward. It's also to understand that you don't know everything about a situation, because whoever has been advising you, whoever you've been reaching out to for support, has kind of got you all spun around here. You've been sort of like chasing your own tail in this situation. So there is a lot you need to learn before you move forward here. Now, we already had Virgo energy come in, so perhaps there's also a Virgo who has some insight in this situation. You might need to, you know, get a little bit more lay of the land from this character here, okay? There could be somebody who has some information that you need that can help you in moving forward here. But what will work on your behalf is to understand that you don't know everything about what this situation entails. You don't have it all figured out. And there is stuff that you need to learn here. And you may need to learn that through reaching out perhaps to an earth sign. We got Virgo energy coming in pretty strongly there. They can illuminate something for you, give you some guidance about what's going down here, right? They do have some wisdom. I mean, we did have that Hermit energy come in on the bottom of the deck, right? Maybe this person's been wanting to reach out to you. They're not quite ready to reach out to you, or they're maybe waiting for you to reach out to them, okay? But this is somebody who might be able to help you in this situation. I also feel like what really supports you is just understanding that there's a lot you need to learn about this situation before you just, move forward ambitiously and potentially recklessly, because you don't have all the details here. Because there's misleading qualities here, okay? Like you haven't been turning to the right people for support. There's something you need to pay attention to here. All right, let's do a cut of the deck with that and see more details about this ally. And we got a Queen of Swords here, okay? Big Libra energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And we have the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment here, okay? So looks like, you got a Queen of Swords on your side here. This is somebody that is going to highlight your route to personal fulfillment here, okay? Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment, yes, but it's about personal fulfillment. So there's somebody here that can kind of cut through the bullshit I got, all right? Air sign energy coming in here. Strong Libra, but it could also be Gemini or Aquarius too. And I also feel like this is something that frees you from a repetitive cycle, of karma that you've been engaged in the South Node. That's kind of kept you close, but no cigar. It's like you feel like you're just about to, activate the dream, and then it's subterfuge here, right? So there's perhaps somebody that you need to learn something from. Maybe this person holds the key to some personal fulfillment for you or dream fulfillment for you. You might need some answers from this person. I see that, you might need to learn something from this person. They have the truth that you need here. This could also be an ex, all right, when we're looking at the Queen of Swords, or somebody you've been cut off from for a while, somebody you no longer talk to here. Air sign energy coming through really strongly. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And that's what can bring about a positive judgment, because we did see that judgment upright, okay? So you need to learn something here, because maybe somebody else has been spinning another's truth, and you need to get it kind of like straight out of the horse's mouth, all right? That's how it's coming in. All right, let's see what is the lay of the land for Sagittarius. Heading on up to that stone of destiny. What is the lay of the land for Sagittarius, Spirit? What is the lay of the land for Sagittarius, Spirit? There also might be something you need to learn about what went down in the past for you to understand the best way to move forward, okay? That's what's going to assist you here. What is the lay of the land for Sagittarius moving forward toward that stone of destiny? Look, we got the Hermit in reverse. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. Oh, I just noticed that with this Page of Pentacles, there's that hair medicine, that rabbit medicine. That's trickster medicine too. All right. Maybe up till now, you've been getting your information from a Virgo or from an earth sign energy. Maybe they've been filling you in. Maybe they've been telling you what's going on in a situation. And maybe that's what's gotten you a little bit tripped up here, I have to say. You might need to go straight to the horse's mouth, and you might need to talk to somebody that you've had communication cut off from. Maybe there's an earth sign that's been educating you about this person that you haven't been communicating to. You need to go to this person. That's what will exercise sound judgment, and you'll get what you need in this situation here. You need to be aware that whoever has been leading you here on the path you've been going down, they've been leading you astray. They may be telling you that they know the way, that they know the lay of the land. They don't. I also feel like you're in unfamiliar territory here, so you need to pay attention to the customs of the terrain you're moving through. It's a bit of that wanderer energy, so I feel like in some way, oh, I got sentience around this. You've wandered off the path. So you got to be careful about how you move forward because you don't know what kind of reception you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? You need to be aware of where you're heading here. And also who's been leading you up to this point. Somebody's been leading you in the wrong direction here and throwing you off course. I do feel like it's somebody that you trusted, but there's a little bit of slippery energy connected to this character here. Yep. And it's the very thing that has eluded your ships coming in. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting, you know, and you haven't seen any progress here. It's like it like totally threw you off the path that was aligning you with your destiny here. So I feel like you need to talk to somebody to get back on the right track here. So you really know what the way forward is, because whoever you've been turning to has been misleading you here. You see, there's your energy right there, King of Wands, okay? And we got strength coming here on the other side. So there could be a Leo connected to this situation. We also see Empress energy there, taming that lion, also taming the past, okay? So this is an old matter here that you're trying to resolve. You do have the strength to overcome whatever has challenged you in the past. This is some kind of soul contract matter that you're dealing with here, okay? And it's time to write a new story. Again, the word wants to be written, so there's some kind of message that needs to be delivered here. There's some type of communication that needs to come through, and it should have come through a long time ago. Could be a Leo in connection with this situation that you're dealing with. It could have even been a Leo that intercepted this communication, all right? Right behind that, we got the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck, okay? So you could have been relying on an earth sign to be a go-between for you, to help you out with a matter. They've actually been slowing down this beginning here. They've been slowing down this communication. In some cases, they may have even been intercepting communication here, okay? Or they've been doing the talking for you or something like this. You need to be aware of this. I'm really picking up strongly that you need to be asking questions directly, you know? If you need directions, you know, how do I get where I need to go with you? You need to ask the person in question. You stop dealing with go-betweens here. Stop trusting when somebody else is telling you about a situation. If you want clarity about a situation, go to that person. Stop dealing with other people to act as intermediaries here. That is really sabotaging you. And these people are setting you up in such a way where they're veering you further and further off course, and you're getting lost now. And now you're in inhospitable territory. So it's making more complications for you, and it's causing you to face a lot more opposition than you would if you just directly went to the person you need this information from. Okay? Ask the person directly so you don't end up dealing with people that make you feel like they're, you know, with you here, supporting you on this road forward, and they're actually taking you further away from where you're looking to go. Okay, there's something you do need to understand here. Let's see what this is about. What is the beef? Okay, well, what is all this moving and cross purposes that Sagittarius is dealing with from these people who are supposed to be allies? What is the beef? What is the meat of the matter in this situation? What is the beef? What is the meat of the matter in this situation, man? What is the beef? What is the meat of the matter in this situation? Oh my goodness, this is a sticking point. The indecision. Is it this? Is it that? Will it turn out this way or that way? Should I do this or should I do that? Staying in a place of indecision. You got to cut through the BS. The indecision is caused by confusion, emotional confusion, because somebody's stirring up your waters. You know, They're working with emotional manipulation. Whoever you're dealing with is emotionally manipulating you into this space where you're feeling very confused and you feel like you don't know what to do. Also, some of you do have something you need to settle. You have a karmic debt you need to settle, and you keep trying to figure out a crafty way to get around it. Like, I don't want to have to own up to that. I don't want to have to pay my dues. There's no way around this. Like, a certain score does need to be settled at the crossroads. And only once this is done will you be able to move forward and feel like you're back in that position of power. We know you get the power put back in your hands. So I feel like you got what you need to move this thing forward, but you got to move out of this place where you can't make up your mind. And I feel the reason why you can't make up your mind is because you're taking in too much from other people, instead of just trusting what was your initial inspiration and what you knew from the start. But you allowed other people to talk you out of it, okay? You allowed other people to complicate it. You allowed other people to do your talking for you. And then you trusted them to deliver the message you wanted to receive from the individual you were trying to extract information from through a third party. Like, that doesn't work. Okay, there's some need to face a situation directly, see it clearly, instead of just trusting what you're being told by other people. You were very clear, and you allowed others to create an element of confusion for you here. This is being done purposefully. Okay, so, people can say, well, I don't know anybody who does spell work, but, spell work is a manipulation of energy. All right, so if somebody is sitting there playing with your emotions and telling you, oh yeah, I talked to them and they said this, or they're kind of like running a narrative for you and you're relying on them to do something that you should be doing, and not only are you you're kind of like sabotaging yourself in that situation, but you're also allowing other people to manipulate you. And that manipulation does weave kind of a glamour. It weaves a spell. See? And you're so burdened here by all the other opinions that have come in and all the other actions people have taken and everything everyone else is saying, all of them weighing in on your choices. And you feel like a sense of duty or responsibility because you feel like, well, these people have been helping me. They've been supporting me. They're not helping you. These people have been burdening you. They're weighing you down and they're holding you back. And see, it's the trickster right there by your side, tricking you into thinking it's your responsibility to support these people and sabotaging you because they're making it out like they're helping you, but they're not. They're weighing you down. And they're distracting you. In some cases, they're stirring up drama around you. So you won't focus on what you need to focus on. And what you want to see grow will never grow. And time's running up here, man. Look at it. It's total sabotage. You're having your time stolen from you here. And you're letting it happen because you already know about this. You're already aware of this. Some of these people have already screwed you once, twice, 3 times. You keep thinking that there's something that's redeemable here. There's not. Or maybe they were able to explain it away. And even though you knew what they were telling you was a bunch of crap, you chose to believe it. Because it was too hard to really look at the truth that, man, this person did this to me? No. That's really going to work against you. It's going to work against you. This is just outright sabotage, Call it jealousy. Call it, somebody wanting to feel like they have the power in the situation, or they feel like ripped off by you, by your choices because you want to head in a certain direction. But this is foolish. And in some cases, your inability to make a decision is a decision, and you're sabotaging yourself, okay? So this is the beef. This is the meat of the matter. And I feel like there's a lot of frustration in this situation. Not just you feels like they've had their time wasted here. There's multiple people that feel like their time is being wasted because there's no clear direction established here. No decisive action has been taken. So there is a need to cut through this sabotaging influence if you're going to move forward. Really important here. And stop carrying what's not yours to carry, and stop feeling like you have to inform everybody about every choice you're making. Stop involving so many people in your situations or getting them to do things for you that you should do yourself, because what you're doing is you're creating more burden for you to carry and more complication and more confusion, and it's doing nothing to serve you in this situation. What are the consequences that Sagittarius has to deal with as a result of their past actions, Spirit? You got to open up. There's no way for you to move forward in advance while you're trying to protect yourself, stay in your safe space, stay in your bubble, not take any risks. It's time to show up and represent what's true for you. You're going to have to take the risks. There's no way around it. You got to face what you fear. You've been trying too hard to stay in a safe space by, looking at outside sources to make you feel like you have every detail you need in place and you can anticipate everything that might possibly happen. And you just can't. That's not how destiny works. There's no way to predict every element in play because everybody has free will. Every character that crosses your path has free will. And you don't know, 1 minute, they're your ally. The next minute, they're going rogue, You could be dealing with somebody that's, your mortal enemy in this situation. So you got to be aware that, the only thing you can know is what's true for you and what you feel called to do. And this is about calling back your power. Stop putting your power in other people's hands because you're too afraid to take a risk. You're too afraid to put it all on the line. I mean, look at what we got here. You're not going to activate your destiny like this. You could have been dealing with a really controlling person here, but this is the Emperor in reverse, okay? You're dealing with somebody that's trying to exercise far too much control over your destiny, and you're just handing them the reins. You're letting them take charge of everything. We had really strong earth sign energy come out. This could be a Taurus or somebody with a strong Taurus placement. It could be Aries energy. I also feel like this is you just letting your destiny pass you by here because you're not balancing things out. There is something that needs to be settled here. There is karma that needs to be cleared out if you hope to advance and activate your destiny. But you're not doing it because you're not taking charge. You're meant to step into this Emperor role. You're meant to take charge. That's how you rise up into the Aries North Node. You can't have other people pave the way for you. It doesn't work like that. You got to do it. You got to do it. Aries energy is enterprising. Aries energy takes the risk. Aries energy is motivated, ambitious. They're the first out the gate. They know they're heading into unfamiliar territory. That's okay. They'll lead the charge. And that's what you're meant to do, you see? But you've been sending others out. You've been sending others out in advance. And it's actually taken the power out of your hands, okay? So that's what you're dealing with right now. That's what you're dealing with right now. Feeling like you don't have any control over your destiny because you gave that power away to others, but you have the power. All you need to do is take it back. All you need to do is take it back. Pull those swords out of your back and take a stand for yourself and cut off the nonsense. And where you do need to settle a score, where you do need to pay a debt to get out of the crossroads, do it. Make it right, okay? You definitely have some people in your camp that are not, looking to see you step into your power. They want to have control over the situation. They want to have control over you. And you do need to look at this. It's something you need to pay attention to. This problem's not going to go away. So you are definitely being challenged to stand in your power and take a strong action here and activate this change you want to see in your life. Nobody's going to do it for you. All right. And only you can give your power away. This is really important. I think you're dealing with a face-off, with a real tough character here. You're kind of both really stubborn. You're going toe-to-toe. Woo. Okay, well, what is the power for Sagittarius to gain through self-mastery? It looks like this is a formidable opponent you got here that you're facing off with. Okay, and this person wants control in this situation. You got to take a stand. You can't let this person just like roll right over you. You're going to miss out. Okay. What is the power for Sagittarius to gain through self-mastery in this situation, Spirit? Woo, a lot came out there. Yep, and it all came on top of that Emperor, except for this card here is the only one that didn't. You see? You're staying in this place of loss, of lack. It's like you're making a home in this place of lack, doing without. This is like the opposite of the Nine of Cups. This is no fulfillment. This is feeling cut off. This is going cold, not feeling connected with your power, not feeling your sense of purpose. Okay? You've made a home in this. Why? That's, at a certain point, you have to recognize that if you make a home in a place of lack, that's you abandoning yourself. Like, you have to take a stand for yourself. You have to step back into your power here. And what's crossing you? Hangman, Pisces energy here. Okay, so you're being held up here because you haven't gotten a certain perspective. And the perspective is where you've been investing your energy and where it really hasn't been paying off for you. You have to acknowledge that. There's some truth that's going to become painfully clear. If you have not arrived at it yet, it will be abundantly clear by the time we enter winter season here. And you're going to have to act on that truth, right? I do see that you will have that Spear of Lu. But first, there does need to come this peace, right? You don't get to the Spear of Lu until you've already obtained Fragarok. So there's a truth here. And this may be a truth that you've been resting on. You already know it, remember? You already knew, but you started bringing other people in, and that convoluted the truth here. So there's a truth here that you may have been sitting on for almost a year now that you still haven't acted on. And it may be time to issue this truth. It's that truth that will set you free. And maybe you've been wondering, should I speak this truth? Should I reach out to this person? Should I share this message? Should I write that book? Should I take this action? And for one reason or another, you've been holding yourself up and you've been doing without. Why? Why? It's everything you're wanting. It's your happiness here. All you need to do is invest in what's true for you. Forget what everybody else says. All you need to do is take that step. Your words have power. Your words are your power right now. And it's what activates your happiness here. It's what brings joy back into your life. It's what fuels your enthusiasm, your sense of purpose. It's what rises you above the challenges of the past. You could also be dealing with a Leo in this situation, okay? That's a lot of power to gain. It's also the power of your sun, it's the power of your sun sign. What is that? Sagittarius, your optimism, your can-do spirit, your ability to move into that place of expansion, and your luck. Just the luck of being born under the planet of Jupiter, okay? Just luck. And where's your luck going to come through at this time? Your luck is going to come through communication, because we got Jupiter and Gemini until next summer. Okay. So your words have power. You also have, Venus hanging out there with Jupiter right now in your sign. So where you're wanting to see more beauty in your life, where you need a little bit more love in your life instead of these daggers in your back, it's your words that have the power to transform this, not the words of others. Okay, so there's something here that you really need to recognize. Your words are your power. And maybe this does require you to sort of like master your message, get really clear about your truth and how you're going to convey that, or what is this message you have to deliver. But that is your power. That is your power. And the mastery you need to gain is the mastery to share this message, to speak your truth, to act on your truth, and not rely on others to define that for you, okay? What's at stake for Sagittarius's party moving forward here? Those who are supposed to join Sagittarius on this road leading to the activation of their destiny. What is at stake for Sagittarius's party moving forward here, Spirit? What's at stake for Sagittarius's party moving forward here? Well, that was interesting. This stack kind of came out here. I mean, there's a lot at stake here. See, this came in a kind of like a crossing position, but all in reverse here. What's at stake? What's at stake is that Four of Pentacles, you stay stubbornly in your place of your safety zone. You don't take the risk. You keep praying for a rescue, hoping someone's going to come along and save your ass and set this right. But instead, you just left here waiting, because there's nobody coming in here to save your ass, because you're the one who has to save yourself with the Knight of Wands in reverse here. And you never do get to activate the fulfillment of the Empress meeting the Emperor. You never do get to bring about that new beginning in your life, because all your energy is tied up in the old karmic cycle with the Empress here in reverse. And that has everything to do with not really valuing yourself. When the Empress is in reverse, she doesn't really value herself, or she doesn't value what she has to contribute. She puts more value in what others bring to the table than what she has to share here. And there's something that needs to turn around, or there's a doubting of your creative ability to turn your life around. Okay. And this is what's keeping you in this repetitive cycle of feeling like you're always living in the bardo. It's because there's never the closure brought to the old cycle so you can move forward again. And again, it's like a knot that's holding things in place. So this is a karmic matter here. In order to move forward, you gotta untie this knot. There's something here that's going to hold you back from coming into alignment with your true destiny. And it's going to keep you in a repetitive cycle where you just feel like you're hanging out in the bardo, waiting for your deliverance to come. You got to deliver yourself. It's you. You got to take the action. You got to chart your course. You got to make a choice here. You got to be really brave. You got to put it all on the line. It'll become clear for you, okay? It will become clear for you. Let me do a cut of the deck there and see what we got. Yep, Knight of Cups in reverse, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There it is. King of Swords in reverse, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're not making a decision. You're not being decisive. You are not taking action. You're not saying what you need to say. You're not communicating. And as a result, it's not just you that's losing out here. You all lose out. Nobody wins, okay? Nobody wins in this situation, right? This really does need to be turned around. It's nothing but fear holding you back here. You're letting the past haunt you. You're looking back at at what went wrong in the past, and you're allowing this to haunt you. There could be a Leo in play here, I have to say. It's time to face your fears. Until you face your fears, you won't be able to overcome this, okay? What's at stake for this new world that Sagittarius wants to bring into being? What is at stake for this destiny that Sagittarius wants to activate here, Spirit? What's at stake for Sagittarius if they don't take a stand and take this action? I mean, it's as simple as, you know, just reaching out, man. You refuse the new beginning that Spirit's bringing your way for that fulfillment that you seek. You're stubbornly refusing it. It's almost like feeling like it's got these vibes like you want to be rescued. You want somebody else to do the work. You want somebody else to come in and make it all better for you. That's how it's kind of coming across. And you're really stubborn about it. And it's sort of like, you got to save yourself. That's how it's coming through. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to continue to stay in this place of disappointment. That's what's at stake. So it's sort of like, you know, Spirit's saying, you got to lead this charge, you know? You're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to open up to this experience. You're going to have to understand you don't have a full understanding of the situation. You need to be willing to open up. You need to be willing to speak your truth. You need to be willing to live by it. What's the cookie for Sagittarius if they take this risk? What's the cookie for Sagittarius if they take this risk? I mean, I just feel like you've been dealing with a lot of untrustworthy people and confusing situations. So, I mean, I can understand why that's really difficult, but it does look like it's the thing that needs to be overcome here. What is the cookie? What is the sweet reward for Sagittarius if they take this risk, Spirit? Well, here's the risk. Opening up, taking the cup. All right, you know, I'm nervous about this transformation here, but here goes nothing. Okay, let's see what's the cookie. If you do take that risk to open up, if you take the cup. Ooh, interesting. We got a crossing card coming out there. Okay. You get a strategy, you see? You get a strategy that will get you through what's blocking your path right now. You also get a strategy to overcome a couple people who've been a little proud of themselves for being able to hold you back. So I do feel like you're going to get the inside scoop here, and it gives you exactly what you need to overthrow those opponents on the path and give you the upper hand. This is a smart strategy moving forward with this Page of Swords. You see, once you take this risk, ooh, I see the cats here, you gain access to some secret information that you didn't have, something that was unknown to you. And this is what gives you the winning hand, Sag. This is what gets you to where you want to go, okay? What is the target that Sagittarius should be aiming for at this time, Spirit? What is the target that Sagittarius should be aiming for as they lead up to that new moon in Scorpio, the transformation point, that fire test of truth that's going to come in for them on November 1st at the close of this lunar cycle? What is the target Sag should be aiming for? To act on this hidden information that you get access to and to keep your plans quiet. Mum is the word, Sag. Don't let others know what you're up to because they have their motives for wanting to know what your next moves are. You're going to gain certain insight into a situation. I do feel you're getting access to hidden information here, and you need to keep it close to your chest. Don't share what you learn here. It is changing the way you move. Trust your own counsel here. Listen to what your intuition is telling you to do. Trust your own magic and you are going to hit the mark with that new moon that comes in. And this is high priestess energy here, okay? So this is activating the high priestess within you, or the magician within you, the alchemist that knows how to transform what's been in the shadow, what's been held up at the South Node, into the stuff of your destiny. So I do see you got some strategy you're putting in place. It will come very unexpected, and it is around these blockages that have been in place. Ooh, look at this. Dancing with the devil here, okay? So we got Capricorn energy coming in here. There's a little bit of glamour operating in this situation. I do see an Ace of Pentacles in this devil's hands here. I want to get clarification about this. Ooh. Yes. Okay. I like this. You're besting a devil. You're tricking the devil. You're tricking the trickster with your strategy. That's what I got. Because remember, I told you there were those 10 swords that were stuck in your back. Well, here they are. You're letting that go. You are letting that go. You are being released from what was done here, what's been holding you back. And I see there's two vain people here, very egocentric people. They've been very proud of their ability to hold you back here. But what I see is you're exacting a little justice here. This is beautiful, okay? So you're turning around that energy at the South Node, and you are besting a devil, okay? So big Libra energy here. We also got Capricorn energy. So I feel like this is the activation of your 10th house. You will notice that that devil is holding a pentacle in their hand. So I feel like you are getting an opportunity back that was stolen from you. And maybe you are unmasking someone after all, because we do see this character wearing a mask here. And this could be the person that had you held up here, okay? You may have fallen for their glamour, but I do feel like a score is being settled here and you're getting free. Let me do a cut of the deck, Sag, and see what we got to cap this off. All right, the balance that needs to be paid, okay? You could need to pay the piper there for a little mischief in the past. But look what we got here. We got the magician, okay? So we got magician, the high priestess here. This is a very spiritual connection. You are coming together with somebody that you are meant to partner with, and you will make some beautiful magic together, I have to say, because we got the lovers right there. And see, look at this. It's quite a grand adventure that's about to take off here. There are messages coming in here in relation to this. I do feel like the message, the word, will finally be delivered. And this is what does strike a balance, okay? And you're moving away from those troubles, and all those swords are cast aside. So this is pretty wild. Moving into tricky territory. There is magic afoot. Do be prepared for that. And if you're like, I don't know any of those kind of people. I don't know any wizards. I don't know any sorcerers. I don't know any witches. Well, just be aware it is the season. And you do have some master manipulators around you, but I do see you're besting a devil that at one point bested you. You're settling a score here. You're getting a new beginning. And there's some kind of magical alignment coming into view. It is your justice, okay? Transforming that karmic cycle. And we got high priestess to magician. This is something that is meant to be. Looks interesting, Sag. Godspeed.